here. Voice getting a little better every day. I notice a huge improvement between today and yesterday. But I will see when I get done talking. Bull Ron here. Yeah. Anyway, welcome. Got CPI coming out tomorrow, so oil down a little bit. So just kind of I wouldn't say a sideways day. Maybe we'll see. Market just opened. Market's been open about 4 minutes. Hey, GM Coach Master, early for you out there on the left coast there, California. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, let's jump over. We see Bitcoin here down about 1%, still holding above 64. Kind of hoped we'd hold that 65, but didn't happen. We dropped down, but we're off the lows of yesterday. Let's take a look at the traditional markets. First off, there is some supposed good news. I'll show you the article. Pakistan saying there's been some progress made on the Iran peace deal. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. It's crazy. And there's not as much news there was about it. But either way, crude oil 81.93 down a quarter point. So when I see oil down, I take that as a good sign. We've got the NASDAQ down 0.8, the Dow up 0.3, and the S&P up 0.06. Pretty flat, really. Those numbers, not totally flat, but, pretty flat. Hey, Scott, good show today. Saw you were helping our guy, our teacher friend, Mr. Wilson, bond out his token. That was cool. I don't think we quite made it today, but that's a process. But maybe it did. I had to cut out a little early to do my TikTok update, but good show today. Scott also hosts that Heine Coin community every morning at 8:30, 7 days a week on X. You can join him there. Heineken Scott is his title, as well as he helps me with the GM Bitcoin Morning Show. My other two hosts that were there for almost 5 years, over 4 years, both doing IRL. We call it mining fiat, Yeah, good to see you joining me over there on YouTube. I think I only have a little over 100, between 100 and 200 followers. So it's nice that some friends help me over there. We still have quite a crowd every day from X. So been there a little longer, obviously. But anyway, a sideways day today. Oh, hey, Mr. Heine from the Heine Coin. Good morning to you as well. Great community over there. Appreciate all the support. Doing great stuff with education. Was looking at a couple other things. SPCX, SpaceX 135. Yeah, so it's up. It hit all the way down to 110 with that token unlock. Turned out to be a buy the rumor, sell the news. Yeah, Taco Tuesday. I've been hiking the last couple days. I might do tacos today. I don't know. I feel like just not eating today. I just feel like not eating. Back doing my 3 miles in the mountains every night. Get you down that road. Want to lean down a little bit. Make it easier, but I might, man. I got great tacos at our barbecue place. Strategy 94.71. I think Michael Saylor's little plan is working. We of course have Ansem took a big jump today. Ansem, the creator, supply controlled creator meta, up 208, up 18.77%. It had been sitting flat for a long time in those, the 175, 180 range, mostly in the 170s. So that's a nice little jump. Cash Cat, which is kind of its the main one over there on Robinhood, 153.70. It's up almost 4% as well. I would say, man, I've been just getting shredded over on Robinhood. Stuff really seems to be short-lived over there. Of course, Cash Cat's their biggest one, and it got listed on the Robinhood app, which seems to have been a good thing. So both Ansem and Cash Cat up today. Our TBB token took a little hit yesterday, but up off the lows, got all the way down. Geez, how low did we get yesterday? Down just below 12. Now we're at 13.9, so coming back a little bit. That's the Bitcoin bull. And then our friend Sikasa's coin. the Bela coin from his 5-year-old plus NFT project, artist project uh, that he has with his island and all that stuff, and obviously he's been doing that for a long time. So, um, B, geez, I don't even know. It always the BAYLA always throws me off the Bela, but anyway, it's hard for me to remember. But I know it's Bay something. But anyway, the Bela from his NFT project and art project and island virtual island project. It's 586, so it's down a little. Holding, it's kind of been in that 600,000 to 700,000 range. It launched on Saturday, got all the way up to 1.4. So I've been buying. I think I've already bought a little lower than this. I think I bought it like 5.5. But anyway, I think Sikasa will be around. He's proven himself to be around. So you say his Jungle Bay NFT project's been around for a long time, and he's self-funded that and ground a lot of followers. Good positive guy out in the space. So look at our, of course, our Bitcoin 64,123 down 1%. Ethereum 1890 down 0.5%. XRP, man, barely holding on to $1. In fact, yeah, it doesn't look like it dropped below $1, but man, like right there, like you can see how strong of a support that is. I mean, because look, it's 1.0068. It got down to 1.002. Really been just for the last week or so, just really been sliding. We'll see if it can maintain that $1 or drop below. Lot of pain for them, down another 1.8%. Solana 75.94, down 0.5%. So not bad. Yeah, Coach Master XRP to the moon, man. It's got a long ways to go to the moon. But yeah, it's definitely been on a slide for sure. Let's look at some of the news. Decent news today. The SEC is going to meet on Friday. They're going to meet on Friday to consider a new crypto offering network. So they're not going to wait. They're going to have some stuff in place in case Clarity Act doesn't pass. It is getting voted on Tuesday, the 15th of September. However, it's not they can make the rules, but the next administration can change it. So it'll be helpful. That's a good, nice plan B, but not as good as getting the legislation. Got to get the legislation because then it's not easy to change. Trump media disclosed holding 14,139 Bitcoin worth more than 900 million. They added 4,666 or 293 million in July. Their losses were huge, like 283 million for the quarter. So, yeah, but a lot of that Bitcoin, when Bitcoin comes back, they've got a lot, almost $1 billion in Bitcoin. So, yeah, they definitely need Bitcoin to come back, as does Saylor and anyone who holds these large holdings. But smart of them to DCA. MoneyGram's bringing their cash to crypto service to Solana. Users will be able to turn cash into crypto in 25 countries and cash out through MoneyGram in 170 plus countries. So they have around 60 million customers, kind of the old school remittance program. But they're trying to compete and become a little more probably cost effective and definitely more faster by coming to the blockchain. And they're choosing Solana. I think that's a big win for Solana as well. Bernstein raised their target on Riot from 30 after its won $9.1 billion AI data center deal. Reportedly, that's Anthropic. So Riot rose more than 27%. So yeah, so Riot, of course, famously a Bitcoin mining company who's transitioning. I don't know all or just part kind of what we saw in yesterday's news. with Mara selling the $101.6 billion worth, and there's just more money there. So, of course, with Mara, they're getting into the data centers as well as electrical energy side of it, which I think is smart. These guys got a Bitcoin's very feast or famine, So I think this is good for these companies not to rely only on that, kind of be diversified. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. So I think that's good for both of these companies. Haven't delved into them personally, how the stock is. Kind of a sad story, and give a little word of caution. Harry Ye, who was an early Phantom supporter and also had the Tomb project, DeFi project over there. They found him. He had a 30-floor apartment in Ascion. Ascion, I don't know how you say, Paraguay, which is quite a hot spot for expats and people, Paraguay, Uruguay. But anyway, they found him dead, having either been fallen, jumped, or thrown from his 30-story apartment. So but everything was, he owned the 27th floor apartment, or maybe the whole floor. I don't know. He managed around $2 billion. When I knew him, he was living in a yacht in Abu Dhabi. Probably should have stayed there. So I don't know, but it looks to me like foul play, and also be careful, especially in these countries. He's a pretty flashy guy, wore really nice suits and whatnot. Probably okay in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, probably not in Paraguay. So I don't know if he was more low key there, but anyway, not good, and maybe a word of caution: don't be flexing too much. Maybe try and stay that's why I think a lot of people want to stay anonymous, but he was out there, but had a lot of parties. I don't know. I didn't even know he was in Paraguay. I thought he was still in Abu Dhabi, but yeah, probably throwing big parties and throwing your money around might be very dangerous in some of these South American countries. But anyway, so yeah, be careful out there for sure. Ethereum recorded 989.5 thousand active addresses in the last 24 hours. That's their highest since March. I like to see these metrics getting used a lot. That's good. Tomorrow, of course, we have tomorrow we have the CPI data out. We've got a 3.4 forecast. And then Thursday is the PPI. Very important because, as you know, as we've been talking about, overwhelmingly the odds were leaning towards a rate hike. But then with the bad employment data, that's kind of down, around 50%. So the CPI, PPI numbers become much more important here. I think it was reported that the new Fed chairman, Kevin Warsh, said that, if inflation's, a rate hike is on the table, but you don't know, what, because he's new. We don't know him that well. But he did say that, or it was reported that he was open to a rate hike if inflation was bad. So I think we'll need 3.4 or lower, maybe, but we don't know, right? So expect volatility is what we always say in these situations. And that's why we're kind of a little volatile yesterday, probably be a little volatile today as well. But very important. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes we know it's going to stay the same, rate hike, rate cut. It's kind of priced in. It's kind of, right now we don't really know. And it's so in times like this, the data becomes very important. So keep an eye for that. Probably tomorrow morning, I think probably about an hour before the bell. Maybe after the bell. I'm not sure. Usually it's about an hour before the bell. Deutsche Bank bought another 90,000 MicroStrategy shares. So they now have 874,925 shares worth $84.5 million. So new all-time high for them. So good. We need diversity out there. We have our biggest buyer, Saylor's been out of the game for about 7-8 weeks. And literally 3 of those weeks he sold 100 million plus. So he's not only out, but he's been selling. So good to see these other buyers stepping up. And would have thought with all this bad news that's happened that we would have been down, to that mid 50s. So that's it. Do we go up to mid 70s? We go down to mid 50s. That's what everyone's trying to figure out, right? We're in this range. BRICS nations are discussing linking fast payment systems and CBDCs to improve cross-border payments, reduce transaction costs per routers. Well, I'm much more a fan of open source solution and privatized solutions, not these government solutions. They brought us 3 to 5 days and 6 to 10% on average to do your money remittance. So I'm not a fan of these BRICS nations and their thing. Of course, they want to get away from the dollar, and what the U.S. needs to do is what Trump's doing: bring the crypto here, make the dollar stronger, make the economy stronger, buy more Bitcoin is what I would suggest. Have Bitcoin back in the dollar. This reported by Pakistan, U.S. and Iran close to a peace deal. So I don't know. I don't believe any of it, but the oil price is down. So I would say maybe. Coinbase launched its international tokenization hub in Abu Dhabi, the UAE's capital. I don't know if it is a capital. I think maybe it is. I think there's 3 capitals, right? I think the UAE has 3. Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and I don't know what the other one's called. So I don't know if it's really the capital. Maybe it is. But the hub will turn traditional securities into on-chain tokens backed by real shares, allowing investors to access through a crypto wallet. So take real shares, put them on chain, and then trade them wallets. Its goal is to open capital to 4 billion people worldwide who currently lack access. So think about that, right? If you look at most wealthy people store their wealth in the stock market and or real estate, of course, but most people in the more developed world are able to, put that in their 401ks or buy them or however they want. But there's 4 billion people unbanked who don't have access to this. So with blockchain, they can not only have more traditional banking type services, but also these kind of brokerage service and have access to these investments on a small scale, and that's great for them. Also, for them, probably the most important, stablecoin, because many of their currencies are worthless and go down. So them to be able to hold dollars in the form of stable coins is massive. So this is great for the developing world, third world out there. And 4 billion people unbanked. Let's get them banked. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said he's buying Bitcoin every time it dips. Every time it dips, I'm going to be a buyer. As Bitcoin becomes more accepted, becomes more valuable. BTC is rare and special. It become even more rare and even more special. So words to think about. And the White House doubles down on the Clarity Act. White House crypto advisor Patrick Witt said the Trump administration remains fully committed to getting the Clarity Act across the finish line in September. So they're going to have to pull out every stop, blackmail, bribery, whatever. That's a corrupt game of politics, but they need to get it done. Otherwise, let's stop all the talk of America being the crypto capital. Not to mention, it's so important for the T-bills to have these all these regulated stable coins, people feeling comfortable, because those stable coins are already like the 5th or 6th largest buyer of T-bills. And we see with BRICS and all this, everyone's trying to get away from the dollar. The best way Trump can keep dollar dominance is through this. So let's check back on the markets one last time. Feel free to join Scott and I and everyone else. Come up, say hello at the GM Bitcoin Morning Show. But let me refresh this to make sure we're looking at current data. Crude oil, yeah, continues to go down 0.78%, almost, uh, almost coming on the 1%. So that's nice. NASDAQ down a third, Dow up 0.42, S&P closer to flat. So, yeah, that is what it is. Once again, don't expect too much on a day before the CPI. Kind of a wait and see. Enjoy your tacos, touch some grass, hit some golf balls, do whatever you do. We'll just take a look at Bitcoin. Looks like it's down a little bit, but still. Yep, down a little bit, down about 0.3 for the hour. 64,103. We'll see if we can hold 104. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully, but probably by the time we do this show, we'll probably already have the CPI data. It usually comes out, I think, a half an hour before. So we'll expect a little volatility, lock in. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, especially everyone joining us. I really appreciate that. And yeah, feel free to join us over on the GM Bitcoin show. We'll probably talk more TBB. It's sitting at, let's see where we're at. 13.9. So yeah, down a little from yesterday. I'm glad to see Ansem up. I think Ansem going up helps our narrative and helps overall. But the Bitcoin bull, I'm now that I'm seeing this volatility, I've been kind of getting ready to buy. I took about 50 SOL and put it in another investment on Saturday, and it's up like 35%. So I have some dry powder if it drops lower, though I don't know that it's going to. But I was ready yesterday. I did buy 3 times yesterday. Bought about 5 or 6 SOL yesterday to kind of add to my, because I think that's a good long-term project. You see that Jason's wallet, which he uses for airdrops and to reward the bag workers in the community, is already given away $712,000 US. He's got $9.4 million in that wallet. So at its high was 31. I want to get it to 100 million. He'll have about $68 million to give back to the bag workers in the community. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Join me over on the show here in a couple minutes, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Have a great Taco Tuesday. Probably no reason to break out the tequila